Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Hollywood Report. And today we're going to talk about something a little controversial. Now, I'm not a reader. I never have been a reader. And all through schooling, elementary, junior high, high school, for sure, college, I kind of just faked my way through anything that I actually had to read and either did Cliff Notes or watched the movie. And everybody all my life has always told me, oh, you've got to read the book. The book is so much better than the movies. And in fact, all these books up here, these are all Andrea's books. I actually haven't read any of those. Like, there's thousands of pages in there. And I've seen the movies and they're entertaining, but everybody will tell you, and everybody tells me, oh, the book is so much better. The movies are trash compared to the book. And every now and then you'll get this one movie where they're like, that was pretty accurate to the book. But for the most part, it is universal in the movie sucks, the book was so much better. And I'm going to take a little bit of exception to that because, and maybe, honestly, and maybe, just maybe, the book is better than the movie. I will concede that. But for those of you who like to read the book and then go watch the movie, that's what I want to talk to. I'm talking to you right now. Those people, I ran into something last night that kind of makes me question why you would do both. And here's what I mean. So last night on HBO, we started watching The Outsider. It's a Stephen King book that was adapted into a miniseries, or like 8 episodes or 10 episodes. I'm not even sure how many there are. I think there's 2 out right now. But Andrea started reading The Outsider last year sometime when we were in Portland. She went to this nice little bookstore there on the main drag in Portland, and that's Portland, Maine, and picked up a book because I guess Stephen King is from Portland. Now, the best thing that I know of from Stephen King is The Shawshank Redemption, which is an amazing, amazing movie, and it was generated or written off of a short story of like Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a Stephen King. The Green Mile was also Stephen King, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, he's from Maine, and so she bought a book from a local writer, and she told me about the book as she's reading through it. She's like, oh my gosh, like, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but she's like, oh my gosh, there was a murder, and the guy has proof that he was in a different city at the exact same time, but witnesses say they saw him commit the murder. And so that's the premise of the book. No spoilers there. And as we were on vacation and as she was reading the book and she went through, she'd kind of update me as to what was going on. Not all the details, but, like enough that I could interact and say, wow, that's weird. Okay, cool. So I know how the story ends. Well, now HBO has just released their, like I said, I think it's like 8 episodes, a miniseries of this book, and instead of just doing a movie, it's a miniseries. And so she's like, you have to watch this is really great. And I think she'd forgotten that she'd already told me how this ends. And so I started watching it, and I already know how this is going to, I already know what the plot twist is. I already know what happens. And so as I'm watching this, all I can think about in my head is, I already know how this turns out. This isn't fun. Otherwise, I think it would be an amazing little story, a mystery. Like, wow, there's a guy at 2 places at the same time and witnesses at both that will testify under oath that, yes, he was here. No, I specifically saw him. He was here. Absolutely. Like, it's a good story. And if I didn't already know the ending, I would be watching this on the television being like, I gotta tune in to find this out. So for me, let's pretend that I had read the book and then I was going to watch the show. I wouldn't even want to watch the show because I already know the surprise. I already know the ending. And so for those of you, the question that I'm putting out to those of you who like to read books and then go watch the movie is, why? Is it just to see how they adapt it? Because I rarely watch those type of movies multiple times. I'll watch Back to the Future. I'll watch Star Wars. I'll watch those, Shawshank Redemption for sure. I'll watch those time and time and time again. But they're not mysteries. They're not built on what happens in the end. It's a story being told, which I guess is the same for The Outsider, but The Outsider is definitely a how are they going to solve this type of movie. So though, for those of you who like to read the book first and then watch the movie or the TV show, tell me why. Like, does it not ruin the watching experience already knowing what happens at the end? So no spoilers for The Outsider. If you haven't read it, I would highly suggest going and watching it. And if you have read it, are you going to watch the HBO version of it? If so, why or why not? So anyway, that is what I've got to say on the Hollywood Report for today. And today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. The weekend. I love it. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life.